Hello everyone and welcome to Everything Wrong with Black Beauty 2020 in 16 minutes or less. The horsey CinemaSins parody that nobody asked for. Just to catch you up, Black Beauty was a book written in 1877 by a woman named Anna Sewell. Sewell severely injured both her ankles and for the rest of her life could not walk without crutches or for very long. She therefore relied on horses to get around and witness the horrors that these working animals endured. She then wrote a book highlighting this, and for some reason it became a best-selling children's novel even though it had been written for adults. In 2020, Disney released a modern-day adaptation. Please consider joining the channel if you like this kind of content because this video is probably demonetized. Comment down below your thoughts on the movie and let me know which other horse catastrophes I should cover.
A wise horse once told me
Narration in a horse movie, oh boy.
that a Mustang spirit can never be broken.
Mustang? Excuse me? Black Beauty was written about a carriage horse in England.
The story of a wild horse.
I know I just said this, but wild horse? Huh? I know this is meant to be a modern rendition of the classic Black Beauty, but wouldn't they have been born a lesson horse or a sport horse in today's standards?
I had to be strong and fast and fearless.
Right, and they've already ripped off the intro to Stallion of the Cimarron. Great start, guys.
My mother told me a story about what happens when a horse leaves this earth. It gallops toward the sky, just as if it can fly.
For some reason, his mother is now teaching him a lesson about death.
I knew I had made a terrible mistake.
Oh, and just like in Spirit, it's also Black Beauty who leads the evil humans to his herd. Disney, you really wanted the rights to Stallion of the Cimarron, didn't you? I'm going to sin the fact that they Americanized this movie for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, well, that filly's got a horrible temper. You don't want her. She's a strike horse anyway.
Wait, she? Philly? What? Wait, what? Why did they change Black Beauty from a stallion to a mare? What exactly was the reason behind that? Unnecessarily long traveling montage.
One day, I got a neighbor. I liked the fire in her immediately. She was followed by the funniest little horse I had ever seen.
Hey look, a 30-second brief intro to Ginger and Merrylegs, two characters who are very important to the classic story. Yeah, we're not going to be seeing much of them, are we? Oh my god, this looks like that scene in Twilight where Bella moves to Washington.
I would eventually hear from different people at Berwick. The girl's parents had died in a car accident.
How come Black Beauty can hear and seemingly understand the English language?
There was something different about the girl.
Oh my god, she's not like the other girls.
You know that horse out there? She was rounded up out west, taken away from her herd, her family.
But Joe, don't you see? The horse is just like you.
That new girl? No wonder she smells.
Mean horse girls.
You really are beautiful.
Girl who has never handled a horse in her life approaches a wild and rearing horse. This place is the epitome of safety. What is going on? In what world would you ever kneel in front of a wild horse that could kick you in the head at a moment's notice?
I heard if they can't save them, they turn them into glue.
Glue joke.
Look.
You know, this used to be a story of abused carriage horses, and now I'm watching some girl put a halter on her head in front of a wild Mustang. I'm just gonna add 100 sins because they made this into a horse girl movie.
I knew humans like to wear things on their feet, but horses?
Beauty.
For some reason, Beauty will now do anything Joe says. With only a stern word, she'll allow shoes, bridle, and a saddle to be put on her. Ah yes, expert technique. Haul a horse round in a circle, flapping a saddle pad in the rain in order to calm it down. Something tells me that's not a stirrup around his foot because of how long it is.
What are you doing? Do you want me to? I can't. I don't know how.
Horses do not offer rides. If you see a horse laying next to you, your first instinct should not be to get on its back. Joe has never ridden a horse before and is going at a full gallop, bareback, with no control. She also is not wearing a helmet.
A new groom started taking care of us. He was always very distracted. If the sky fell down, I wondered if he would even notice.
Distracted groom, always on his phone around horses? Wonder where this will end. Oh.
All the trained horses have to be sold.
Smells like sponsorship in here.
It's absolutely disgusting here, Mum.
Darling, quiet.
This movie immediately tries to shove down our throats that we are not to like these people because the younger one actively insults Birtwick in front of Joe's uncle. Oh, and they have posh English accents.
He's just like totally ideal.
Do you think he knows who we are?
I mean, yeah, I feel like he's looked at me before.
I'm taking off a sin here because that line actually made me laugh.
Wasn't that a Mustang? So? Darling, you want a thoroughbred.
Everyone has a thoroughbred.
That's breedist.
Do it for both of us. Don't mess it up. Okay, go.
Yes, all sorts, darling.
No, Mummy, I want that one.
That was so awkward that my soul cringed, but I'm actually going to take a sin off because that was probably the most realistic interaction we have had in the entire movie.
She was nervous around him.
I'm George, by the way.
And this movie just turned into a teen romance.
I can help.
Oh, I got it, thanks.
Why is this groom so rude and angry and flamboyant?
For dressage, you're going to have to get her head up.
My head is up, Mother.
No, the horse, darling.
My humour is definitely broken because I found that comment funny. I'd also like to mention that at no point in this entire movie do they ever say the words Black Beauty. They only call this horse Beauty. What exactly are you afraid of, Disney?
It was clear within seconds. Georgina was nothing like Joe. Her hands were hard. Her kicks were harder.
This entire segment of the movie is torture to watch. Georgina is just a badly written character. She has no traits other than being short-tempered, stuck up, and hard on her horses. They try and steer back to the original a bit more, with Georgina's mother complaining that Beauty needs her head up and makes a trainer put a draw rein on her. However, on the original, Black Beauty tried his best to be good, and it makes the audience think about the fact the horses were just trying their best, yet we continue to push them for our selfish gain. This just seems to be us watching Georgina and her mother be evil and Beauty making a fool out of them. I'm going to slap on 25 sins for this entire section.
I heard my son put a word in so that you could spend time with the horse.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, it's inappropriate.
And now this movie is about a forbidden romance between Joe and the rich boy George, but apparently his mother is living in the 17th century and doesn't want her son to marry a peasant.
Who's that pretty girl?
Where, darling?
Yeah.
George's father calls Joe pretty on account of seeing the back of her head.
Oh, he's so fast. He's a lot of things.
Lots and lots of sin. Apparently to act stuck up and mean, you have to wiggle your head a lot.
I may not have liked Georgina, but I wanted to win.
Oh yeah, this is meant to be a story about a horse and not two forbidden lovers. Dramatic slow falling.
You're my family. I'm gonna save up enough money and I'm gonna find you.
My heart stopped. My legs went numb.
Again, why can Black Beauty understand human language? Wouldn't that give this horse an upper hand in doing things right so that she could actually stay with Joe?
I cried. I screamed.
Wait! Wait!
Softly yelling wait at a moving vehicle that's too far away.
I was bought by a man named Terry to help him search for people lost in the mountains.
If I'm being honest, I wish this section had been more important in the movie. It's basically the search and rescue ranger called Terry who buys Beauty. I feel like the stories and adventures they could have explored here would have been way more interesting than girl bonds with horse. This moment here, this is where Terry rescues a man from a river but can't get himself out, so he decides to cut the rope to try and save Beauty. This is the most selfless act in the entire movie, and I truly believe this story should have been about Terry and Beauty.
I didn't know if a Mustang had ever outrun a river.
A Mustang outrunning a river? That doesn't sound familiar at all.
I fought to stay awake, but I could feel my spirit slipping. I saw Joe.
This movie decides to include a part from the original novel where Beauty gets sick from a fever, but instead of dreaming of open fields with her friends Merrylegs and Ginger like a horse would, they show her thinking about Joe. Just make a different movie at this point, come on.
The farmers still used old tools to work.
Terry retires and sells Black Beauty to a farmer. I just don't get why you're making a modern adaptation of Black Beauty if you're just going to pick and choose the parts to modernize. Beauty went from a wild Mustang to a riding horse to a search and rescue mount and is now a plow horse. What's next? Is she going to be a carriage horse?
Take your time.
Oh, come on.
And so I was sure that somehow I would find Joe.
This is starting to be painful. By the way, 7 years has passed since Beauty saw Joe. This movie is so desperately trying to tell this weirdly inconsistent story of Black Beauty and also make it girl bonds with horse movie.
I knew that horse. It was Ginger.
Oh, it's Ginger. She was sold to George at the Posh family, by the way, so maybe he isn't actually the nice guy they painted him as, because clearly he sold her.
She told me she had won many prizes for George, but when he left for school, his mother had sold her without him even knowing.
Of course it wasn't him to blame, it was his evil stepmother. Oh, is that not this movie? What's even the story here again? I mean, I get it's a movie, but it's incredibly low chance that Ginger would also have ended up in New York also as a carriage horse at the exact same time as Beauty. This just hurts.
She said Merrylegs and I were the only friends she ever had.
Well, Merrylegs I get, but this feels so crowbarred in. We barely got to know Ginger, and she was rarely ever with Beauty, even when they were at the same stables. Some people will have a love for the character because they knew her from the original, but in this movie, Ginger is seen about as much as any other background pony.
Beauty.
Oh, and look who happens to also be in New York, by herself, in the snow, probably having walked past the very carriage that Beauty is hitched to, looking the same she did 7 years ago. Look, police horses. How cool would it have been if they had an entire story about a police horse? But no, we got this weird stitch of a ranch horse turned carriage horse in the 21st century.
I knew it was Ginger.
I'm sorry, in what world would a large animal's body be transported away by a horse-drawn carriage in a city? A truck or a van would take it away. What is this, Disney? Plus, yes, it is sad that Ginger has passed away, but you really didn't do much to make me feel properly compelled for her as a character.
Well, here's the first one. She's gone lame on me, the front leg. She's about 1,200 pounds.
1,200 pounds? Aren't they in America? Why would they be using English? Oh, they aren't talking about money.
See some ID, fellas. We've heard some rumors about horses disappearing.
Now, I think the rumours of horse abuse and neglect that this stable was facing would be more serious grounds than horses disappearing, but okay, Mr. Officer.
Let the girl go. Really?
I'm going to lose my mind. They just let some random girl onto a potential crime scene with live horses. Oh no, but it's Joe! Is that a ring? Oh, don't tell me she... Oh, bugger off. Ew, kissing.
Joe had done it.
She had probably done it with the help of an incredibly rich husband. Is this an Anna Sewell reference? I don't know whether to remove a sin or add one.
Welcome home, Beauty.
Home.
By the original's logic, this may have been Black Beauty's home, but considering this is a wild Mustang, this would not have been home.
And as my final moments found me, and I galloped toward the sky, it really did feel like flying.
Why did they decide to have Black Beauty die at the end? Was that necessary? Was it not dark enough to compete with the original, or were they just trying to emulate a bittersweet ending? If you enjoyed this review, let me know in the comments which other horse movies I should do, and consider joining as a member because this video definitely got demonetized. Thank you to all of my current members, so I hope you guys enjoyed, stay positive, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!